Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm here, and I'm streaming. We're doing the damn thing. So let's get right down to it. Let's get down to brass tacks. Or so they say. Dauntless, welcome to the stream. Let's get some music popping. Get a little music poppin'. Little pop and lock it. Alright. I'm gonna cook. I'm doing the Arena Open, my friend. Pioneer Masters Sealed. Thanks, Dauntless. I'm trying. Nice little bonus stream on the weekend. Going for the Arena Open here. Let's do the damn thing. Also, I've got gummy bears. I can't possibly lose. Not with gummy bears. What we got? 2 white, 2 black, 2 red, 1 blue, 1 green. Bandit, are you up to trouble? You getting up to trouble? Lay down. Lay down. Alright, Whip of Erebos. Creatures you control have lifelink. Pay 4. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate only as a sorcery. Sire of Insanity, 6 mana, 6/4. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards their hand. Oh god. That's kind of crazy. Linvala, 6 mana, 5/5 flying. When it enters, if an opponent has more life than you, you gain 5. When it enters, if an opponent controls more creatures than you, you make a 3/3 White Angel creature token with flying. Nice. Pia and Kiran Nalaar, 4 mana, 2/2. When Pia and Kiran Nalaar enters, create 2/1/1 Thopters with flying. Pay 3, sack an artifact, 2 damage to a target. That seems really good too. Heliod, 5/6 indestructible for 4. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Heliod isn't a creature. Other creatures you control have vigilance. Pay 4, create a 2/1 white cleric enchantment creature token. We've also got Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, 3 mana, can make 0/1 plants. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Its ultimate is to gain X life, draw X cards for X is the number of lands. And Aetherling, kind of like a Morphling, 6 mana, 4/5. Pay 1 to exile it and return it at the beginning of the owner's the next end step under its owner's control. Pay 1, it can't be blocked. Pay 1 +1 -1. Pay 1 -1 +1. Honestly, all very usable rares. All very usable rares. If we went Rakdos, we'd have 3. If we went Mardu, we'd have 3. If we went... So, we're either going Rakdos, Orzhov, or Boros, I think for sure. Actually, we could go any of the white. Any of the white dual colors would let us use 3 good rares, right? Or Rakdos. Or, theoretically, Mardu would let us use 5 of them. It really comes down to what our uncommon pool looks like, and what we got for lands. Akum Warrior. Let's see, we got decent amount of guild gates. Hey, what's up, Strider? Welcome to the stream. Arena champ already, close enough. Boros, Rakdos, Orzhov. We've got all of the guild gates for Mardu. In fact, we've got like All of the guild gates, period, right? What are we missing? 3 red, 3 black, 3 white, only 1 blue and 2 green. So blue is the least likely, green the next least likely. Mardu is ironically enough the best possible color combination. We have the Akum Warrior, which we're almost definitely playing. In limited, this is just a strict upgrade to a mountain, so yeah, we're gonna put our Mardu lands in one pile, our lands that have green in the other, our lands that have blue in the third, so we can keep track of like which color combinations are more likely to be beneficial as we move into checking out our uncommons. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Steward. I don't think I've ever seen a creature that can exert without attacking. That's new, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Design a deck around a storyline? I mean, I think I've loosely done that in the past. I don't think I specifically set out to design a deck around a storyline, but I think some of my decks have resembled storylines. Yeah, for fun. That could be cool. 2 Mentor of the Meek. With Heliod. Seems really good. Right? With Heliod and Pia. Seems really good. Evangel of Heliod enters. Create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to your devotion to white. Do we have ways to make artifact tokens for Pia and Nalar? Pia and Kieran, sorry. Jessen Thief deals damage, draw, and it has prowess. Murmuring Mystic, instant sorcery, make a bird. Sight Beyond Sight. Shipbreaker Kraken. Rebound. Pretty expensive though. Blood Scrivener. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, instead you draw 2 cards and lose a life. Cutthroat. Gatekeepers. If you control 2 or more gates, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2. We should probably take things that care about gates, put them over here. Put them right over here so I don't forget about them. Where was I? Uncommons. Rescue from the Underworld, 5 mana. As an additional cost to cast it, sack a creature, choose a creature in your graveyard, return it, and the sacked card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next upkeep. What an interesting recursion spell. It's almost like you flicker one of your creatures and bring something back. Open MTG. Night Train. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, Strider. Some interesting cards for sure. I'm trying to specifically look at synergies though right now. We want artifacts. We want ways of getting things into the graveyard or big nasties for when they are in. Just token creatures in general with Heliod seems good. Nissa can trigger Mentor of the Meek, which is kind of nuts. We've got like nothing for green though. Clear Shot. Reverent Hunter. Azorius Charm, we've got 2 of those. Creatures gain lifelink, draw a card, put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Good card. Highly doubt we're playing blue at this point, looking at the card pool. Nightveil Spectre. If we don't have blue, it's triple black, which is really hard. Combat damage to a player exiles top card. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled with Nightveil Spectre. That's pretty good though. Tomebound Lich. Townbound Lich is great. Works super good with Whip of Erebos and Rescue from the Underworld, too. Rampager, 10th District Legionnaire. Gets counters when you target it. Unflinching Courage. Not great. Kiora's Followers. I mean, the white seems super good to me. The blue and green seem super bad to me. I mean, Gord Clan Rampager's okay. Tomebound Lich is pretty good. But I don't know, man. What we got in red? Monastery Swift Spear. Ordeal of Perforos. Enchanted creature attacks, put a counter on it. If it has 3 or more, sacrifice Ordeal of Perforos. When you sack it, it deals 3 damage to any target. Huh. It's kind of, ooh, Gates Ablaze. Another Gates card. Do we just run a Gate deck? I think it's too risky. Haste, Renown. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, if Scab Clan Berserker is renowned, it deals 2 damage to that player. That seems really good. Seems like we got some decent cards. Okay, let's check out common. Like, I'm leaning towards Boros right now. I highly doubt we play blue or green. Laguna Band Trailblazer. Whenever you cast a spell, it targets Laguna Band Trailblazer. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. Another good targeting thing. +2/+2. Sacrifice it to gain 2 life. That's just removal. Swift Reckoning. Destroy a tapped creature. Ardenvale Tactician. You can even do this to trigger, like, your heroic abilities. Or like your 10th District Legionnaire or whatever, because you can swing, and then in combat after they're tapped and attacking, you can target your own creatures with Dizzying Swoop, just to get like counters and stuff. Ghostblade Eidolon, 1/1 double striker with Bestow. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and double strike. Search your library for an aura card. I'm thinking we go Boros Auras, guys. I really am. Consider Nimbus. Basilica Screecher. Tuku Husk. 2 Obnixilus's Cruelty. Those are really good pieces of removal. Maybe we splash black. Disciple of Phoenix. Target player reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to your devotion to black. You choose one of them, that player discards that card. Not good if we're splashing. Target player mills 4. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. Removal is good. Rimrock Knight is good. Witch's Mark is awesome. We get to target our creature and trigger their heroic and draw discard. More Bestow stuff is awesome. Removal. Yeah, I'm thinking Boros. The question is, do we try and get really cheeky and add a 3rd color? No real progress today, boss. Yeah, I've made some progress. I think I'm Diamond 3. I haven't made like a ton of progress, but I've made some progress. Dragmangler. Martial Glory. Indestructible. Pilgrim's Eye. Pilgrim's Eye is awesome, isn't it? So, I'm thinking we go Boros Heroic, guys. Like, all of the cards seem super good. Like, every single one of them. The artist deck. I mean, it's possible we could splash a third color, but I'm really doubtful. I'm really doubtful that it would be worth it. Let's see, 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Eight, 8, 9 and 9. How many things do we have that can target? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm making yum yums for the doggos. But yeah, I'm thinking Boros Mentor with... Yeah, this is just nuts. This seems just nuts. We gotta cut, what, like 3 cards? Creature. Let's see how many things we have that can target, and then let's see how much we have that's removal. Our devotion stuff gets better if we stick to 2 colors too, which is important. Let's see, removal. Where'd my other piece of removal go? I think it ran away. Boulder Salvo. This can target. It's any spell, right? Whenever you cast a spell that targets. So technically bestowing a creature would count. Witch's Mark is so good because we get to target our things, but still get value that isn't dependent on targeting our things, if that makes any sense. Like, if we have a Witch's Mark on a dead board where we've got no creatures out, it's not a dead card for us. But if we do have creatures out, it can target things and trigger Bestow, which is kind of amazing. Let's see, that can be removal. That's removal. That's removal. This is removal. That can trigger. I wish we had some more cheap early creatures. But we still have a lot here. We still have a lot here. Dimir Self-Mill. You can target 2 different creatures with Martial Glory, which is awesome. All of these are amazing. Fall of the Hammer, Swift Reckoning, Compulsory Rest. Now I just don't know what to cut. Honestly. We keep all the removal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. We gotta keep all of this stuff, right? Let's see. Heliod's Pilgrim can find an aura. So let's see what auras we have. I think it's worth it just to find the compulsory rest. But we need to have at least one other aura. Because if we've already drawn our compulsory rest, then Heliod's Pilgrim is just a 1/2 for 3, which is really bad. Really, really bad. Ordeal of Purphoros. So I guess that's at least 2, right? So technically bestow creatures don't count as aura. Heliod's Pilgrim can't find them, right? I'm pretty sure about that, but I just want to be 100%. Yeah, Defaced Room is pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Unflinching Courage is our only other aura. I feel like the Pilgrim's worth it. I don't know what we cut, man. This is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many actual creatures do we have? Give me a second here. Hey, thank you for the follow, Dudge. Appreciate ya. Ghostblade Eidolon as a 3-drop, as a 4-drop, as a 3-drop. Pinalar as a 4-drop. Like, we definitely have to keep all of the 1-drops in. Because we have to play a creature in the first 2 turns. So if we count the 1-drops as like 2-drops, we get up to 5. We have 5 creatures we can play by turn 4, or by turn 2. We have to play at least a creature by turn 2. Then if we have to, like, pivot and start using our targeting stuff, then it's fine. Swift Spear has prowess, so it gets a little bit of value off of some of these spells. Obviously, Laguna Band Trailblazer has heroic, so if we play one of those on 1, we don't have to play a creature on 2. We could play a buff spell on 2 and just get there. I was thinking we could get away with 16 lands, but I'm also using an Akoum Warrior as one of the lands. So, like, I only have 18 lands as it is, and I've got the one Akoum Warrior just for extra value later on. Everything's really good, though. We could get rid of the Heliod's Pilgrim because there's only 2 things to search for it. We can't really get rid of anything that targets creatures. Because we've got Lagona. We've got 10th District Legionnaire. We've got Wingsteed Rider. We've got at least 3 things that want to be targeted. Although I suppose maybe we can get rid of one of the less than stellar things. Like, Ardenvale Tactician is amazing and Rimrock Knight's amazing because they let us target our creatures and then become creatures, which I think is important. So we're definitely not dumping those. I could see dumping the Emissary, potentially the Pilgrim. Artful Maneuver we get to cast twice, so we're definitely not dumping that. Witch's Mark draws us cards as well as targets, definitely not dumping that. We could dump Martial Glory. I don't think we can get rid of any of the removal. Honestly. It's just too good. It's just too good. So this is kind of where I'm at. Dump the Emissary because it's kind of slow and the Bestow is insanely expensive. Dump the Heliod's Pilgrim. I mean, it's awesome that it can find either our Ordeal of Purphoros or Compulsory Rest. And probably cut the Martial Glory. It can target 2 different things, which is awesome. But we've only really got 3 creatures in this deck that benefit off Bestow. So I think... Or benefit off of, like, targeting, like Heroic. Also... Evangel of Heliod is kind of expensive, so I could see that going. But getting a whole bunch of 1/1s that would trigger Mentor of the Meek seems awesome. But it might be a little win more, right? If we're playing super aggressively. Hey, thanks so much, Zix. I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving me your prime. That means a lot. Do the damn thing.
Let's rock!
Chunky thinks I should do 16 lands. I mean, I could maybe do 16 lands. But if one of them's the Akum Warrior, that kind of feels bad. Oh, it's Platypus. What's up, dude? I knew there was something there when you said just a platypus jumping over, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together of the username. I appreciate you, my friend. Hell yeah. I think we don't have very many expensive things, right? I think we definitely dumped the Emissary. I think the more I think about it, Heliod's Pilgrim's just too good. Getting another creature that can trigger both of our mentors, that can be a target for our buff spells, and that can find either our Compulsory Rest or Ordeal of Purphoros, I think is really good. Oh, shush, Chunky. Gotta keep the bombs at the top. Everything that's not a bomb costs 3 or less right now. But we gotta keep Linvala, we gotta keep Pia and Kieran, we gotta keep Heliod. I could see the Scab Clan Berserker going. Especially since we're tilted more towards white than red. We probably want to tilt our mana base more towards white, which makes it a little bit harder to get the Scab Clan Berserker on 3. But the thing about it that's awesome is it's very aggressive, which works well with our pump spells. It comes in as a 2/2, which triggers our Mentor of the Meeks. And then it can just win games on its own if they don't get rid of it every time they cast a non-creature spell. But I could see it going. Apparently, my storage is full again. And I have to delete things again. Don't know how or why, but okay. Okie dokie. Alright, so our choices are these cards. 1 red, Scab Clan Berserker, Evangel of Heliod, Martial Glory. I think the Heliod has to go the more I look at our stuff. In fact, if we get rid of the Heliod, that keeps our curve a lot lower. Maybe that's how we can get rid of a land. And then we keep our extra buff and our extra creature. We just get super, super aggressive. No, it isn't, you liar. Gives us 9 white sources, 8 red sources. Seems good to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually have slightly more red in 2 on 2, but I don't think when it comes to things we actually want to cast on 2, like none of these are things we actually want to cast on 2, right? What we want to be casting on 2 is Steward of Solidarity or 10th District Legionnaire. And if we happen to get a 1-drop out, then maybe like Witch's Mark, Martial Glory, Rimrock Knight, Perforos. So the things we definitely want to cast: a white card and a white and red card. So white is leading. Then when it comes to things we could cast, there's a lot more red. I don't know, man. 8, 9, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we want more red. Maybe we want to just go even, 8 and 8, and then the Akum Warrior is just extra. We definitely have a pretty even split. We need a lot more white, but when it comes to getting our second mana of a color, it's kind of evenly split. Like, we have one more white card in 3 that needs a second white over 3 drops that need a second red. But then we have one more red card in 4 that needs a second red. So red is like slightly less because 50% of the time we can just wait until turn 4 to get the second red, in comparison to how often we need the second white on turn 3. But then again, we want to use Ardenvale Tactician's Dizzying Swoop before we play it as a creature anyway. I think even's probably correct, and Akum Warrior is just extra. It's hard to say for sure. It's really hard to say for sure. I think this is how we're going to try to run it, though. Technically, we've got 15 lands plus an Akum Warrior, which might be greedy, but our curve is super low. If we had had like one more Boros Guildgate, that would have been amazing. What do we have for artifacts? I want to check artifacts really quick because of Pia and Kieran. What do we got for artifacts? We've got Whip of Erebos. Yeah, not really any good artifacts. Not good enough, at least. Well, Pilgrim's Eye counts as a creature that can trigger Mentor the Meek, and then it's a flying thing that we can buff up. And it's an artifact we could sack to Pia and Kieran. So maybe Pilgrim's Eye. I could see Pilgrim's Eye. I could see Pilgrim's Eye. My dog is being a pain in the butt. Doggo, quiet. Quiet, doggo. Quiet. Yeah, there's definitely a part of me that wants to run like Halo Scarab, Pilgrim's Eye, Halo Scarab being a creature that can trigger Mentor. It can be sacrificed to a Pia and Kirin to shock something. And it can be exiled from the graveyard to make a treasure token. Like, all of that kind of seems decent. Pilgrim's Eye also seems kind of good. It sort of gives us a half of a land back while also giving us a flying platform for our buff spells. And an artifact that we can sacrifice to Pia and Kirin. The problem I have with both of those is simply that they're slow, right? They're really, really slow. So ultimately, I don't know that they're worth it. Theoretically, if we splashed black, we're almost definitely not, but theoretically if we did, what would it be for? Obnix's Cruelty, maybe? -5, -5. Whip of Erebos isn't splashable, so it wouldn't be that. Imperious Oligarch. Hey, thanks so much for the raid, Grixis. I appreciate you. Doggo, quiet. Bo. Good God. Good God. Good timing, Grixis. I think we just stick to Boros, and I think we stop trying to get cute with extra artifacts for Pia and Kirin, and we just keep the deck super aggressive. That's my answer, I think. We're running 16 lands, but one of them's an Akoum Warrior, which seems a little bit worrisome. Let's just, let's give it a go, shall we? Saw a couple Indestructible Gods beat streamers today. Yeah, we got one of them. We got the white one. That's why we're sticking to two colors. So we can turn on that devotion. True, true, true. My hope is that we kill our opponent before they can ever get there. So we'll see what happens. Keep 7. Hello. We're going to start with a Lagona Band Trailblazer. We'll go Witch's Mark. Discard a mountain. Draw 2. Swing for 2. Looks pretty good. We got a Pilgrim. We got a Mentor of the Meek. We probably want the Mentor down first, right? We probably want the Mentor down first. Although I kind of want to get my aggressive stuff down. We'll do this first, though. Mentor the Meek. Evolving Wilds on 3, that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Let's see. We could Artful Maneuver. I guess we'll hold up the ability to Artful Maneuver, just in case we have to. And we'll try attacking. Alright, we get in for 4. We are going to go Wingsteed Rider first. And we're going to draw a card off the Mentor. And next turn, we're going to go ham. Absolutely ham. We might even have lethal. We might even have lethal. Let's see what he's got. Ow. Destroys my aura. How dare you destroy my aura? Auto pay. Compulsory rest. It's probably the way to go, right? With the 4/4. If we attack, we could Artful Maneuver for... He probably kills our Mentor of the Meek. We just don't attack with the Mentor of the Meek, right? Yeah, I think it's better to do it this way. Kill the Naturalist, get in for 3, pass the turn. Keep a much bigger board than him. We'll hold off on the Linvala in case he has like board wipe, because we're winning without her. Unless he has board wipe. Heliod's Pilgrim. He's just gonna scoop it up. There we go. First win in the bag. That wasn't too difficult. Yes, I did have lethal. I did have lethal. You're not wrong. I gotta go check on some things. I'll be back in just a minute.